So we're going to do some washing. There's a demo on washing the dreadies. Sammy's our little model here. Everyone's met Sammy in the studio. She's actually got a couple of stages of dreads. She's got older dreads and new dreads. So kind of half ignore that in the video, but we're just explaining the dread washing process. The best way to do it, we find, is in 3 stages. First stage is the scalp, second stage is the length, and the third stage is rinsing. And rinsing is probably one of the most important stages as well. Okay, so I'm just going to get her hair nice and wet. Get the temperature right. Now, if you're at home, you can amend this to your shower or a laundry sink with adding in those the hair wash things. You can buy them separate. They're a bit like this. You just plug them onto your taps. Let's see, how's that? A little bit hot?
Oh, that's fine.
Nice?
Yeah.
Alright, so when you're at home and you're in the shower, just get your hair really, really wet. Gone are the days where you're going to be washing your hair really, really quickly. Dreads take time to wash. You can do lighter washes in between your main washes, but we have found if you just wash thoroughly like this once a week, you don't even have to do the big soaks throughout the year. It's just once really, really well. And it should take about 15 minutes, so it's worth taking its time. Alright, so making sure everything's really nice and wet. Now, it's a bit tricky to see because Sam's actually got 3/4 head, so she's got a lot of hair at the front here. So first wash, and for washing we have a no label, but it is dishwash liquid. It's just what we prefer to use here. You can use whatever you really choose, but we are finding that dishwash liquid is the way to go. So if the other good point is if your dishwash liquid is too thick or your shampoo is too thick, dilute it with water so you've got a bit more of a runnier consistency. It's really hard working thick liquid into dreads, so just dilute it. So what I'm doing first is I'm just getting the scalp. I'm just going around with the tips of my fingers and going around getting the suds in. Is that in nice?
Mm-hmm.
We're not worrying about the lengths yet. And because we're in a basin, I've just got to work a bit underneath. So just raise your head up just a little bit, darling. And don't miss a single area of your dreads. And you're just working around every single one. And you really want to massage the scalp. You really want to get all the flake off. You want to get every little area penetrated. Sometimes it's good to work from one ear over to the other ear and back again and back again and back again until you get to the bottom nape of your neck. It's just being methodical on how you do it. The other way to do it is to get every single dread and give it a rub on the scalp like that. So you're getting under every single dreadlock and going under each one like that. That's another nice way of doing it and really taking your time. And it is obviously much easier if somebody else is doing it for you. So if you've got a beloved at home, hop in the shower together and get washing together because it does make it so much easier. Okay, now the other golden weapon we have, a black cockatoo, is one of these. I don't know whether people have come across these yet, but they're fucking fantastic for dreads. For rubbing on your scalp and going around. So what we do is we just go around again in sections, and that releases all the shit off the top of your scalp. Now, I kind of do it, lift up the dreads and go underneath. Now Sammy actually has a little bit of scalp issue. I'm just going to get some dishwash liquid and a little bit more water. I want it a bit wetter. Sammy's actually got a little bit of scalp issue, and this thing, used once a week, is going to really help remove all the debris. It's a little bit like an exfoliation. I think some people use coarse sugar to make an exfoliant. There's other stuff that you can do, but I'm finding this is really good. Now, originally when we first came across this, we were really concerned it was going to make a mess of dreads, but we're actually finding it's much, much better. These guys, we're just going to get a shipment in very soon, having our pretty label put on there, and they'll be for sale probably about next month here. But they're really worth getting, and they don't mess up your dreads. And if you are worried about messing up your dreads, you can do that just before your maintenance is due to try it out. Okay. Does that feel good?
Yeah, so good.
Start snoring. Okay, so that, and I'm just giving it a bit of a nail action as well, because I know the scalp can be a bit grumpy. Alright, so that is scalp stage. Alright, comfy? Alright. So I'm going to rinse that out. It is apparently good to use cooler water on here. Everyone's got their own theories. Alright. So obviously if you're in the shower at this stage might take a bit quicker. Alright, second stage. More. Just wash it quick. Oh shit. Whoop. Alright. Okay, so what I like to do is grab a handful of dreads like this, and you're squelching the suds through your dreads. Like that. And then you're going to go another section, and you're squelching the suds through the dreads. So I've done that much. Now, if you find it difficult to keep up with where you're at, you can use a clip or a hairband. All right? Sammy hasn't got a huge amount of dreads, so she's actually quite easy to do. My partner's got loads of dreads, and I have to really keep track of what I'm doing. And you see how I'm just working the suds all down the dreads. And if you do this regularly, you're going to empty out all the shit that's built up on the inside of these over the years. Because these dreads are, how old are these now, the old ones, do you know, Sam?
4, 5 years.
4 or 5 years, so there's probably lots of stuff in there that takes a bit of time to get out. If you keep doing this, you're going to get better and better. So you can see washing dreads is no quickie if you want to have good dreads. Now the importance of having nice clean dreads is that they've got nothing inside them because they're like little magnets, and they can't self-mat when they're all hard and full of residue. And residue comes in different forms. It can come in old products, it can come in oils from your head, scalp off your head, life, where you work, what you do, dust, all that. So Sammy's dreads are actually really clean. When I do my partners, and he's been working in the garden, these suds turn like a murky colour, so it's quite obvious that they need a big clean, but these are super clean. Okay. I think that's good. The other great thing about having really clean dreads is you need less maintenance, because if the dreads are empty, they actually can self-mat, because dreads need the inside of them to be clear so that the hair has space to actually have some friction to move, and that is matting, and that's what dreads is. So less time in the chair is brilliant. So keep your dreads really clean, and you'll need less maintenance. Some of my older clients who use this method, I probably see them twice a year, and that's it. And that's really only for sorting out things and doing a root maintenance, you know, just a quick root maintenance. Obviously that's with mature dreads. When you have your dreads made, you really, really want to be coming regularly in their first year to keep an eye on everything. this step is super important, rinsing. Now obviously it's going to take longer for us to do it like this because I've got to move it around or whatever, but if you're in a shower, rinsing isn't going to take quite as long, but you still need to really make sure everything is out. You can see how quickly the suds dissipate. Some people get nervous about using suds because they think that you're going to have so many suds everywhere and it's just going to be out of control. It's not the case. It's made for human consumption, so they kind of disappear really easily. And that's why it's residue free, and that's why it's so good and easy. Sam, is there anything else we need to cover? That's it. Alright, so what we do next, after our washing, and we'll probably do a separate video on this just to be really thorough. Just lift your head up, let's make sure I get under here a bit. Sorry, I'm getting it wet. In a separate video, we're probably going to go over palm rolling. But briefly, what we'll do now with Sam is we will just make sure he's thoroughly rinsed. We're going to put her hair up in a towel. Microfiber towels are great for sucking up loads of liquid. And then we're going to salt spray her hair, and then we're going to palm roll. We like to palm roll when wet, and then we will palm roll each one 3 times, roughly 3 times, for a real thorough going over, and that will just keep all the knots tracking in the right direction, iron out any kinks from wearing your hair up, and generally just get the knots all reshuffled again. And it's best to do it when it's wet because the hair has got moisture in it, so therefore it's got more movement. And as the hair dries, it will kind of lock everything into place because the hair will dry out and lose its moisture and become a little bit tighter. There we go. I hope that has explained washing more thoroughly to everybody. I'm afraid it's not a quick process, but it is really worth doing. Obviously you can wash in between and do maybe one light wash during the week and then one heavy wash on the weekend on your days off. But do try and get into it because it really, really helps your dreads, and it will help you have less time in the chair and you'll have beautiful locks. Alrighty, thank you.